welcome everybody for the latest video, November 19th, 2010, from John B3922 and England International Airport. This video, you'll see the arrivals of Air France A321, a TNT, sorry about the light, was getting better as we speak, TNT 737-300, and a Kazakhstan 737-200, more to them in a minute. Also the new Gemini Jets mat for parking and cargo aircraft. That would normally go over here, over 27 right, and it would just operate this airport from a one runway, 27 left runway. But my airport's too big to operate from one runway, we've got too many planes, so we've got to have the two, so that's just gone on the side of 27 left. Now basically the scenario today is that terrorists have planted a bomb in the capital of England, London, and it's a nuclear bomb and it's going to wipe out the whole of the UK in around 5.5 hours time. Parts of Norway, around Germany, Holland, northern France, maybe even all of France. So basically pretty much every single aircraft, every single airport in those areas are scrambling. They're getting the heck out of there, they're getting as many people on board as possible and flying off. Most of these planes are heavier than they would normally be. For example, one of my British Airways 747-400s, that can normally take around 450 people, I think. We've packed about 490 and 500 onto the one next to it. We're not filling the thing full of fuel, but we get enough to get to Dubai. Because they will lose quite a lot of fuel because it's so heavy during flight. They will lose, I don't know, around 3-4 hours of flying time, so they're going to put enough in to get to Dubai, which is around a 6-hour flight. And BA, this A380's got 848 people on board, including all crew and everything. That plane is capable of carrying 853, I think, but our plane's only capable of 525 because of course it's got the economy, business and first, so there's not that many seats compared to the full economy layout that it can take, but we just packed loads of people on, so there will be quite a lot of people standing. Also the A380, that's just had its engine checks because 2 weeks ago there was a Qantas engine number 2 that blew on takeoff from Singapore. We've had those Rolls-Royce engines on the BAs checked, they're all fine. But there is one problem, this Thai engine number 3, they found a problem. They were examining the both of them actually over on the parking mat, and they found a slight problem in engine number 3 on the Thai, because that's Rolls-Royce as well. Now the problem, they said, shouldn't get worse until another around 150 flights from Bangkok to places like London, Paris, etc. But of course there is a slight problem, but it's still going to take off. It's going to try to get out of the zone, and it's going to make a landing around, again, Dubai, Abu Dhabi area. And again, that's got around 700 people on board, so there'll be quite a lot of people standing. Also some of the cargo planes like the UPS 757-200, that would normally be full of freight and cargo bay boxes and whatever. That's just got people on board, that's got around 90 people on board. And also the 744 UPS, that's got around 312 people just sitting down. Yeah, the pilots have been pretty good because they'll normally just hold here, and this is just a bit of extra taxiway. They're like this Air France has, they're pulling in between the two, so pilots can go behind like this to create more room, because it won't be such a backlog on the main taxiway around the terminal, which is good because this Air France has come in, therefore the Lufthansa has been able to swerve around, the BA's be able to come in here, and therefore the Air Canada closer, creating less of a backlog. Because of the backlog, there are a couple of planes, BA, A380, they're all full, ready to go, but they can't push back yet because there's planes in the way. The A380 is just doing its last check. I think that'll be moving soon. Also, we've got a Jet 2752 and a Continental 787-800, which well, they can't push back yet. We've got quite heroic Delta 767-300 here. That's coming in from New York, Newark. It would normally be operated. This flight would normally be operated by a 757-200 with winglets. It's only got around 100 people because it's not their peak flight time. But the 75 had a problem, so they've had to use a 76. So it's only got 100 people on. They use quite a lot of fuel, so they've still got around 2.5 hours. So he's going to stop, taxi off the runway, pick hopefully another 200, if possible, people up from the airport. Hopefully, if they can, fill with fuel. And once filled with fuel, try Malaga, Barcelona, somewhere in Spain, maybe Gibraltar. We have again got another problem with a flyby Bombardier Dash AQ400. That has only got really a range of around 2.5 hours flying time, so it's only going to make it out of the affected area. So what they're doing, they've just got a normal crew, and they got around 60, I think, 80 people on board, just the normal average payload, and they're going to try and fly as most economically as possible. This is hectic. As I said, these guys pulling in here, they're not getting orders from air traffic control because that's out at this airport, because they've basically scrambled. So they just, when they take off, they're using air frequencies like London Centre, for example, and stuff like that. So the air traffic control is out at the minute, so they're just doing it all by hand-eye coordination, if you like. Also, this Air India 777-300, that's just landed from Delhi. It's got around 2 hours flight time left, so it could scrape it to Spain. But again, it's only got around 180 people on board, where it can hold around 380, so it can hold another 200. So it's going to park up, it's going to pick up a load of people, put a little bit more fuel in, try Portugal, somewhere like that. Now more to the planes. I have just won on eBay. That's an Air France A321. I have just won on eBay Air France Britair CRJ 700, and also a Iberia CRJ 900 ER. So they should be coming by Christmas, which is pretty cool. There's a TNT 737-300. But the two RAF planes are just leaving. They're both refuelers. They've got massive cylinders in them, which are refuelers, and they've got like little walkways near them. The walkways are just filled with people. There's no fuel in the refuelers themselves, because that'll extra weight, so it's got as less weight as possible, which is good. Here's the Kazakhstan 737-200. That would usually stop in Dusseldorf, refuel fully, pick up new passengers and what have you, and then fly on to Kazakhstan. But Dusseldorf's going to be affected, so they're going to try and have to fly a bit further than Dusseldorf. And the only plane that's being left behind out of the whole airport, sadly, is an El Al 777-200. That's in maintenance at the minute. The BA and the Thai A380s were next to them. They're good to go, saved because obviously the Thai's got 4 engines and will be able to fly on 3 engines, probably even designed to fly on 2, I think. So that's okay. But the 772, on takeoff, they normally issue about, I think it's about 90% thrust, something like that. And when issued with 100, which can sometimes happen, engine number 1, perfect, gives the right amount of thrust, but for engine number 2, but engine number 1 strangely only gives around 25% thrust when full throttle is given, put onto the controls. So obviously it can create quite a turning motion, which is quite dangerous, so that can't fly because it's only got the 2 engines, of course. And yeah, it's my airport. I've got another video coming out next week, so keep your eyes peeled. I have said that before, and make an apology. I did say a video was coming out around 2 months ago and it never came out. I used to video on my iPod, but I dropped that in the bath. Stupid of me, so that doesn't work anymore. So now I'm doing it on a handheld video camera. Yeah, I hope you enjoy my videos, and I'm happy to be friends with you. And this is Ben Powell reporting from Lincolnshire, United Kingdom, England, November 2010. Hopefully all of these planes will make it out safely. Cheers guys, see you again soon, bye bye.